Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, February 19th. A major winter storm will impact the Mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday. It looks like there will be accumulating snow followed by a period of sleet and then freezing rain, ultimately to plain rain, but that changeover to sleet and freezing rain will not occur before several inches of snow falls in at least parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Right now I'm thinking 4 to 7 inches of snow in the D.C. metro region beginning between the hours of 4 and 7 a.m., approximately 3 to 6 inches in and around Philadelphia beginning 7 to 10 a.m. time frame, and then 2 to 4 inches in and around New York City beginning 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. In all cases, the higher snowfall amounts in those ranges will be to the west of the metro region and the lower amounts in those ranges on the eastern side, and we'll get into the details right now over the next several minutes. And of course this can be tweaked during the day today. First of all, let's take a look at the 500 millibar forecast maps from the 0Z NAM run. Again, I like to stick with the higher resolution model. In a case like this, I think it has a better handle on a cold air damming situation, which is really kind of a smaller scale feature. So this particular model may pick things up a little bit better for this scenario compared to a synoptic scale model like the GFS. So let's stick with this for now. This is again the 0Z NAM model. Here's the main wave of interest right now across the western U.S. Pretty deep upper level low, and we'll just move forward here initially in hourly increments. Then it'll jump to 3 hourly increments. This is from tropicaltidbits.com, and that whole upper level feature slides north and west, well to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region into the western part of the Great Lakes by tomorrow morning. And here we are early Wednesday morning, and here's that main feature. But we'll see in a moment there's a very powerful jet streak in the upper part of the atmosphere that extends all the way to the eastern seaboard. That will play a role in the upward motion here in the Mid-Atlantic region that really gets underway early tomorrow morning. Then let's keep moving forward now, and that whole upper level feature slides towards the western Great Lakes by Wednesday night, early Thursday. And this is the reason why we do indeed expect a changeover. This will not be an all snow event, mainly because of this upper level feature sliding off to the north and west. There will be an initial low, a primary low that slides also towards the Great Lakes. At the same time, a secondary low will develop along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. Because of this feature sliding well to the north and west, some warmer air will move in, at least in the upper part of the atmosphere along the eastern seaboard. Hence, a changeover from snow to sleet to freezing rain and ultimately to plain rain. Well, now let's take a look at the 250 millibar wind pattern here. And again, a very powerful jet streak exists right now, as a matter of fact. This is a Tuesday morning forecast map, again using the 0Z run of the NAM. But here's a very powerful jet streak already in existence right on top of the Mid-Atlantic region right now, extending all the way back into the middle part of the country. But I wanted to point out what will be the case by early tomorrow morning. Let's just move through in hourly increments here and watch the development of a kind of another jet streak over the Ohio Valley Midwest by early tomorrow morning. Watch this particular area right in here. That starts to intensify. This is the forecast map for early tomorrow morning, about 7 a.m. on Wednesday. This particular region, we call this the right entrance region of that jet streak, is where upward motion should be taking place. Again, right in this region by early tomorrow morning, the right entrance region of this particular jet streak, and then we see kind of a development on its heels of another jet streak, and this goes all the way into the early part of Thursday. And again, this particular area, the right entrance region of the upper level jet streak, favors upward motion. That will contribute to perhaps some heavy snow for a while during the morning, midday hours on Wednesday, and then maybe heavy sleet for a while during the afternoon. Certainly, strong upward motion will help contribute to a lot of precipitation during the day on Wednesday that will continue into Wednesday night. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 0Z NAM model run. I want to point out, certainly this high pressure system is a very key player. It moves over to New England by later today, early tonight, sets up shop for a while here, and that acts as an anchor for the cold air mass that is now in place. We had pretty mild conditions for a while on Monday, but colder air moved in with stronger northwest winds late yesterday and last night, and we're quite cold this morning, and dew points are very low, and this high pressure system will set up shop over New England and set up kind of a cold air damming situation that feeds in colder air along the eastern side of the Appalachians, at least at the onset of the storm system for Wednesday, and that is a key player. Now let's walk through these hourly maps here. Again, these maps from tropicaltidbits.com, and here we go. Let's just keep walking through. Notice that high jumping towards the Ohio Valley by midday today, and then it sets up shop over New England by this is now the Tuesday evening, the Tuesday evening forecast map. High pressure over New England, cold air mass locked in place, lots of moisture breaking out over the Tennessee Valley, the Mississippi Valley, all headed to the north and east. Let's keep moving forward now into the wee hours of the morning, and here we go by early tomorrow morning. High pressure sitting right on top of the mid-Atlantic region over Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Cold air mass locked into place. Precipitation starts to break out at this hour in the Washington metro region. Again, I expect that between 4 and 7 a.m. roughly to break out in the D.C. metro region as snow. This is quite cold air, locked into place at least for a while at the onset here by that high pressure area. And notice winds here, low-level winds will be out of the northeast for a while going into the day on Wednesday. That's your cold air damming situation. The cold air extends all the way down on the eastern side of the Appalachians. And now let's move forward here. All that precipitation expands to the north and east, hits in the D.C. metro region first, early morning hours, certainly before rush hour is complete in the Washington metro region. A bad day for the morning commute certainly in Washington. Then it expands to the north and east. I expect it to reach the Philly metro region from southwest to northeast probably in the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., somewhere around mid-morning in the Philly metro region, and then I'll take another couple hours by midday, early afternoon into New York City. And at this particular time, it could be snowing pretty hard across Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In fact, even at this hour here into the early to middle part of the afternoon, could be snowing pretty hard in Philadelphia to New York City. But the changeover has already begun, certainly down in D.C. after accumulating snow on the order of, I'm thinking, 4 to 7 inches. Again, those higher amounts to the west of the metro region. By this time, certainly sleet, freezing rain down across D.C., right on the doorstep in the Philly metro region. Later in the afternoon, could change over to sleet and freezing rain in Philly. And then at the end of the day or early tomorrow night in New York City. And that continues for a while. Ultimately, it becomes plain rain in the I-95 corridor region overnight tomorrow night. Now, temperatures will hang at or below freezing well into the evening hours on Wednesday, but probably rise later on tomorrow night. And that's why I expect it to ultimately end as a plain rain, but of course the damage will be done by that time. And then it all winds down by Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. Temperatures at 50 degrees in many parts of the I-95 corridor region. Well, one last map I'd like to show is the snow depth forecast map from last night's 0Z run of the European model. I think it has a pretty good handle. I tend to be in agreement with this particular setup here by the European model in terms of snow depth by midnight Thursday. This is late tomorrow night into the early morning hours of Thursday, after pretty much the snow part of the storm will be over. And it's purple right here is the 4 to 6 inch range, and you see basically 4-inch line that cuts across Washington, D.C. to the south and east of Philly, and then up around New York City. And notice higher amounts generally to the west here. Again, this particular shade of purple represents 4 to 6 inches all the way in this area here by the European model run. And the next level up is 6 to 8 inches. But a couple things to point out again. Generally, higher amounts to the west in the metro regions. That means Dulles, Manassas can get more snow than, let's say, Annapolis in the D.C. metro region. Certainly, western Chester County may get more than Philadelphia in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania. And again, in general, I'm thinking 4 to 7 inches across the D.C. metro region, 3 to 6 in Philly, and 2 to 4 in New York City. Higher amounts in those ranges to the west, lower amounts in the metro region itself, or just to the south and east of there. So a major storm coming to the Mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday. It will include accumulating snow on the front end, then a change over to sleet, freezing rain, ultimately to plain rain, and it actually reaches 50 degrees by Thursday afternoon in much of the I-95 corridor region. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.